and it was very, very powerful. It's something that resonated very well with the, you can see when the people are reacting to what you are saying,
Yeah.
if they're having any connection with it. Yeah. So that one worked so well with just a second. That one worked so well. When he opened his statement, he had a joke or two. Yeah, when you're opening a statement that you are able to crack a joke, it means that you are comfortable. So he made himself very, very comfortable in the opening remarks, and he was articulate in the issues. Although what I observed again is that Djibouti guy knew about the management of AU affairs. He had a grasp on what happens in the AU as compared to what Raila had presented. So that is something that I saw, and I was impressed by what Baba did last evening. I'm also joined here by Brother Leo. Leo, karibu sana Africa, and tell us where you are. Tell us if you are passing by, greeting us, or you are here. You are passing by.
Leo.
Leo.
Uh,
Yeah. So that is that was impressive. But again, let us get back to our topic.
yeah.
Our topic for today is the political landscape in Kenya, just as I've said it. And Ben, you've seen so much that has been happening in Kenya. So many candidates are out there. Everybody everybody wants to everybody wants to be president, but we can only have one president at a time. The IBC issue also was there this week. You also saw it. I don't know what you make of the selection of IBC. I want us to touch briefly on the developments of the handshake that William Ruto uh, did earlier in the week by uh, meeting Uhuru. And remember, Raila Odinga had also a similar handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta, yeah, during his last term. And now William Ruto also made an handshake with one Raila Odinga. And now there's a combination of handshakes here. Handshake with Raila Odinga, handshake with Uhuru. What do you guys make of this? But first of all, let me welcome Leo. Leo, welcome. I think your net is yeah, you are okay now. Leo, welcome. Welcome
Thank you.
back to Africa. We have missed you, and tell us where you've been, my brother. Karibu.
Thank you so much, Zalenda. Very good morning from East Africa. Good morning, Brother Benson. I'm happy to see you guys because it is great. Uh, I've been away for some time working on something, but I know very soon I'll be back. I know a lot has happened. There've been so much development in politics, and there've also been a lot of speculation. But all in all, we can say that the political temperatures have so far been cooled. We are not where we were 3 months ago, that is in the month of June, July. And we hope that as we begin 2025, things are going to get better. Outside the country, Kenya is also doing better. Just the recently concluded elections in United States, we had a Kenyan who managed to get some elective position uh, right there to inform us that we are much competitive. And maybe in the next 1, 2 months, we are also going to have a Kenyan who is going to lead the African Union. Apart from that, the president, Kenyan president, was also elected to chair the East African community. So these are great achievements that we have to appreciate despite the developments that have so far. We are going to look at them. You talked of the handshakes. such kind of things. And maybe just in a nutshell, I can just say that as we are moving on, politics is dynamic. Things are likely to change. They are not going to remain the same. Some will change in a positive way, and some are also going to change in a negative way. So it might be early to talk of the kind of handshake that we're going to have. We might have handshakes that maybe might be revoked as the time move on. In Kenyan politics, maybe a week for a month is longer than a year. Nobody expected that the deputy president will be pitched within a few days. And this is something that not even the deputy president himself could see. So thank you very much, Galindo, for this morning show. I think it's good because it reaches many Kenyans who are within the East African timing. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, thank you, Leo, and welcome back again. You are right. So much might change, but I don't see a lot changing in our politics. It seems that the style is the same. You have remained a constant in whoever you are supporting. Nothing. You have never moved from the political party that you've been supporting, and so many other Kenyans who are now feeling that it is time to move to a new movement, a new thing altogether. There is when I talk to many Kenyans out in the diaspora. If I talk to the people I meet in the diaspora, if I talk to people like Brother Ben here, he will tell you that so much is changing in our politics. A lot has changed, and people don't trust the old political players, the people who have been in politics for a long time. But Ben, back to our question
Yeah.
before we move to the next agenda. What do you make of these handshakes that are happening recently?
Um, uh, just to speak about the Uhuru Ruto handshake, it reminds us of the previous administration where we had the 2013 administration, that is Uhuru Ruto administration. So maybe as a head of state, a former head of state, he the president might have gone there to seek advice as a head of state. You know, that is something that is there, so we cannot deny that. Secondly, there's also a political part of it in terms of in the recent past, not even in the recent past, even as we speak today, President William Ruto has been having quite rough time with the population, some population, especially the Mount Kenya. They've been this hostility towards the president. So people view that by visiting the former head of state, maybe he was trying to find a way on how to neutralize the effect of Rigathi Gachagua in the mountain. That is also some of the views that people are also looking at. Another view that also people are speaking about is the extension of broad-based government. Remember when Raila visited Toi when we had that fire incident, he said um, he donated the experts to the government, and during that the same week there was uh, a place whereby Raila said that Uhuru Kenyatta called him. So, which means they were just comparing notes if what they laid has really worked as a control. They were contra, kind of like giving each other thumbs up that what we laid, especially Gashagwa, is out of the equation. So we did a good job. So that is what I might make of it.
Maybe
Okay,
Mzalendo,
Leo,
just a minute. Yes. All right.
you've got
I
something
just
to
want
say.
to. Yeah, I just want to say that first of all, I have to agree with Brother Ben. And politics is all about perception. So the president's visit to the former president might be perceived differently. and might be put differently in a political contest. But perceptions and the political part of it aside, we have to understand that Uhuru Kenyatta is the immediate former president. And we are lucky as Kenya to be having former presidents. At a point, we used to have two former presidents, so which, if a president like Museveni visited Kenya, he really wondered how we are having former presidents. In most African countries, we don't have former presidents because it is either they die in office or there is a coup which is globally making them not to stay within the country. So Uhuru being the former president who served for 10 years, he has got some institutional memory and experience that anybody who is getting into that office, running a country is not easy. You need to go and consult somebody who's been there so that you don't just stand and do things your own way. And you'll find that Ruto visiting Uhuru is something that is normal within a civilized system of government. You need to always seek some advice from your former or somebody who was in that office previously so that they can be able to take you through that office. Remember, when swearing in and handing over, they don't do an induction to tell you, okay, this is how I do this. So once you try and you find that these things are not working out, it is good to go and consult. Secondly, on the political part, I don't think Uhuru Kenyatta is having any influence in Mount Kenya because this is a man who had a candidate that is supported in the presiding elections, and the people rejected him because of people did not listen to him. Like it's like people disowned his patronage, so he doesn't have any influence as much as even that Gachagua. Gachagua, despite maybe people perceiving that he has got influence, in practicality, Gachagua doesn't have any influence. He's somebody who cannot even organize some meetings with these people, but he gets crushes on other people's meetings and funerals. I have to wait for a funeral to go and have a meeting. And the constitution, and once you've been impeached, you're not fit to hold any constitution of public office. That anybody who will be having a talk in Gachagua is somebody who doesn't understand the constitution of Kenya. So nobody will take Gachagua as a leader because he's a leader who is taking you nowhere. You can't have a leader who is taking you nowhere. I will not waste your energy and your funds. These politicians are funded to fund somebody who is going to lead you nowhere. Instead of clinging on Gachagua, who is already been rendered uh, 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 and how do I say, who'd already been written off, they will rather look for people like Ndindi Nyoro and build them. So politically, the visit is not going to do much, but as far as management of the country is concerned, it's going to be we perceive that he got some advice and he's maybe going to do things differently.
Oh, oh, all right,
Oh,
Ben. Ben, okay, I know you wanted to say something, but
I wait, because this is I cannot let Leo lie to us here. You know,
yeah.
one thing that Leo is trying to insinuate is not Gachagua is not written off. You know, the the fact that Gachagua is impeached, there's what we call influencers. You know, Gachagua will influence the political landscape of uh, especially what is happening in Mount Kenya, because you are talking about that Uhuru does not have influence. He does. The reason why I say Uhuru has influence in Mount Kenya, because remember when Uhuru Kenyatta was campaigning for the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta won them, yeah, of the current president and his leadership, yeah. And now, if you listen to some of the residents of Mount Kenya, they will say that Uhuru Kenyatta, we wish we could have listened to him, you know. And one thing to testify that he still has influence. Remember what happened in Embu when he went there. Yeah, yeah. People really shouted, and people were really happy to see him, you know. And due to the fact that president called him to talk to him, he might have been informed by what he saw in Embu when he was
Brother
in
Nanka, sorry for interrupting you. I just want to maybe be away for some 5 minutes. I just
okay.
want to make it clear. For you, what you're talking of influence in politics, these are kingmakers. Gachagua has never been a kingmaker, and I don't see him becoming a kingmaker soon. Because for you to be a kingmaker, number one, you must have had that influence, not within your community alone. Gachagua, first of all, is the first time MP who was elected based on this euphoria or these waves. So he's a beneficiary of waves. That is number one. Number two, you cannot be somebody who calls yourself influencer, yet he did not even manage to influence the previous election. Those MPs who were elected in Central, most of them are loyal to President William Ruto because President William Ruto is the one who influenced the election. Had Gachagua influenced the election, they would have walked out and walked with Gachagua. I want to give a scenario. When Raila had a handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta, those MPs you saw who stuck with Ruto, they did not stuck with Ruto because they hated Uhuru. They stuck with Ruto because their elections were influenced by Ruto, who was the DP then. So Gachagua doesn't have any political influence. This one is debatable. And if you look at the history of central politics, they never recycle leaders or kingpins like the Luos and the lawyers do. It is always
Leo,
the one who is
Leo, before I know you want to
working.
run away after making
Okay,
that
I'm not
statement,
running
that
away.
ridiculous statement.
I'm
Don't
getting
run
back.
away.
I'm getting back. I'm not running away. I'm just picking something that I'm getting back. I just want
You,
us to
you,
be
you, you,
clear.
you, you,
Right
you you
now,
better come back, and
what
when you
we,
come back,
yeah,
you will tell us whether there
five
was
minutes
any
only.
Jamhuri Day
Yeah,
celebrations in central Kenya.
I'll tell you,
Please come back.
I'll tell you the effect of that. What William Ruto can do now, he knows very well he's lost the ground in Central, and he's not going to get it back. And what he's doing now, he doesn't have any business winning Central. His business is to split Central so that nobody benefits. Just like when you know very well, I don't want to take the water, but you dirtify the water so that it doesn't benefit anybody. And that is what he's working on, and he will succeed. He doesn't need Central. They will not give him vote. But he has to
Uh,
ensure that these votes
and
end up in
Leo,
him.
divide
And
and
then
rule. Is it a good way of ruling the country? Divide and rule.
politics doesn't have a good way or a bad way. Politics is as long as you can get your way through. Let me get back in 5 minutes, then I'll
Okay,
respond to
you
that.
come back in 5 minutes. We have a lot to discuss. We have a lot to discuss, Leo. Uh, that is interesting, brother Ben, because Leo, I need you come back. Where are you? You need to come back later. Uh, Leo is. Let me remove him.
So now, you know, there's one point that Leo is missing. You know, when you're looking at politics, the main idea or the main reason behind politics is power. There's nothing so that we can say apart from power, because that's why people politic. They want to have power. But if Leo want to let us or want us to believe that Rigathi Gachagua is not a kingmaker, you know, he might not be a kingmaker, but what happened to him, you know, the process, that is what is making Gachagua to have influence on Mount Kenya, you know, and he has learned the politics of Kenya. One of the qualification for you to have bargaining power in Kenyan politics, you have to have a region behind you, you know, and that's why I don't think that at any point in time that Rigathi Gachagua will come to Nyanza and campaign. No, he will only come to Nyanza and campaign after being 100% sure that I have a region behind me to bargain. He's not going to bargain even to become an elected leader, or he's not going to run for an office, but he's going to influence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Forget about what Leo is telling us that he was impeached and he cannot run for an office. Yes, it is true. He cannot, but he can influence the outcome of election. I don't know whether you agree with me on that.
No. Ben, there is something you guys are also getting wrong. Is that once you are impeached, it does not really mean that you will not be able to run for office. The matter
After a
has to be
period of time,
the
after a
matter
period of time,
the matter has to be taken to court. It is the court that will decide whether you'll run or not. I know you'll debate about this, but it is the court that pronounces you whether the kind of offense that you made is something that uh, we, they can overlook, or they will give you a green light to go ahead and vie. That is why Waititu and Sonko had to take their courts to High Court, and then the Supreme Court told them, you have got a case to answer, so you cannot vie. But the Senate alone cannot. If they impeach you, it doesn't mean that that is the end of you. You've
I
got.
I think Mzalendo, you are getting this wrong. The reason why you're getting this wrong, if at all Kenya was the process, if the process was done in the lawful manner, yeah, in the lawful manner and meet the criteria of impeachment, yeah, then you cannot. You will take a period of time. And this is informed because when you go to Senate is quasi judicial. They take the mandate of judiciary. Yeah. And when I can give you a typical example, look at on how the impeachment process is done in the United States, especially in the Senate. What happened is because they do not have a speaker, yeah, they
Mm-hmm,
will appoint a judge that will sit there to
mm-hmm,
oversee. Yeah. The judge is not going to make decision, but judge is sitting there just to oversee us because in the Senate we they in the Senate of United States they do not have speaker. They have the majority leader, and the head of the Senate is the vice president.
mm-hmm,
Yeah. So when they go through their impeachment, remember the one for Trump, there was a judge
mm-hmm,
to be there or to be in the Senate to control. Yeah. So, but because the Kenyan one, yeah,
mm-hmm,
was a political
mm-hmm,
process, yeah, ni ule mtu anataka kuua career yako, kwa sababu ukiangalia vitu ambazo zililetwa, some of them hazikukuwa zina meet criteria because like even family issues were involved, you know.
mm-hmm.
The issue kwamba yeye alikuwa anazungumzia watu wa Mount Kenya, it was insubordinating the president. And even you saw the kind of money that was used during that process. How much was it?
It's a lot.
It's a lot of money that was used in the process just to take him out, you know. So for the Kenyan one, because it's questionable, maybe you can go to court and court are going to nullify it or might give directive based on the process. But in areas whereby it's done in a due diligence, you cannot even find time to go to court because the
Mm-hmm.
evidence will be there.
I think you are right. You are right, and I cannot argue about this much. But one thing I know is that even if you are impeached by the Senate, you still have a date with the court. If the court will determine that whatever the Senate did was correct, then you'll stand. You cannot vie for any other position. But the law is also clear that if you are impeached, if you are impeached by the Senate, you cannot vie for any state office. But again, the courts are there to determine whether you are wrongfully impeached or not. That is the
Yeah.
work of the court.
Okay.
So yeah, that is the work of the court to determine whether you are wrongfully impeached or not. So that is something that I think will be determined there in the future for Gachagua, whether he can run for any state office. But as it stands now, he has not gone to court to challenge. He's gone to court to challenge that already. But
Yeah.
if he declares any interest on a seat, then somebody else will be going to court to challenge that kind of interest, and he will present himself to the courts. I think that matter we will put it to rest. The other issue is that Leo was bringing is he's saying Gachagua is no longer inconsequential in the politics of Central. I think is absolutely wrong. Gachagua has gained a lot from since he was impeached. Is now like the kingpin of Central Province. I can authoritatively say that Gachagua is the kingpin of Central Province at the moment, and not Uhuru Kenyatta. Uh, just like here in the U.S., Ben,
Mhm.
when you leave office, when you leave, like Barack Obama left office, now Biden is going to leave office. You'll never hear of these guys until maybe an election is coming or they are doing another function. They don't really meddle so much into the politics of the day, but unless there is a very, very important occasion that they need to maybe participate on party affairs or something like that.
Mhm.
I think we are missing the point. A former president, once they are out of office, take leave, be out of office. You've got no business coming to be in office again. Or what do you think?
Now, a former president to come and be in office, like what?
Like like participate in the politics of the day, like being somebody, especially when there were clear differences between Uhuru and Ruto. So I don't know what kind of consultations that Ruto would want to go in public, in public with Uhuru Kenyatta. I think this is something that he would have done in private if he needed some help, but not in public and taking photos and all that. Now, taking photos now brings us to this kind of discussions. What were they discussing about?
Let me tell you, I don't know whether you are very keen enough to read the press that were given by the both camps, what the president gave, what the side of the president, the current president gave, and the fourth president, the office of the fourth president. They were not corresponding. Each of them was speaking of different things, you know.
Hmm.
So that one would tell you. But to me, as I said earlier, it is right for the current president to visit the former president for advice. It has always happened, even in here in United States. Is that like in United States, if it happens, it doesn't get so much attention as as um, as it should be because of the political dynamics. You know, the one even for the President Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta is taking was so much hit because of the political dynamic that now we have. Right now, president is dealing with the mistrust with the public. You know, so by him going there or by him visiting the former president, everybody will know that one will come to your mind is because of Central Kenya. Yeah, because even in the Jamhuri, when yesterday when there was celebration, everybody was protesting the presidential speech in every county, including Homa Bay. I saw Homa Bay, your county. What
What
happened?
I've not seen, I've not seen them protesting on anything
No,
that is for
no,
government.
no. When they wanted to read the speech, and even the government officer, was it the county commissioner?
Hmm.
Please allow me to read the president's speech. It happened in Homa Bay.
It
You
happened in
can check
Migori
the
too.
Homa Bay. Yeah. So with that, so people would think, okay, now the president is losing it. Let me at least bring Uhuru Kenyatta at least to tell me or inform me or advise me on how I can handle this. That one is a possibility. And another possibility that I told you earlier is about the extension of broad-based government. Because if you're very keen enough, the kind of political narrative that is going to take place in the 2027, towards 2027, is going to be a politics of unity versus the politic of tribal.
Mm-hmm.
if you're very keen enough.
Mm.
Because what president keeps on talking about is about unity. We are bringing people together, everyone together to come in this government. You know, everyone to come in this government.
But Ben, this is where he's losing the argument. This is where the President Ruto is losing the argument. Do you know that at one point this country was ruled by one party called KANU, and we were all united under one party called KANU.
Mm.
And he's forgetting that Kenya is a multi-party democracy, where he has to have an opposition. So what is his intention by bringing the opposition into government and everybody else into government? What is his thinking?
He's not in thinking. I think this is the politics of us versus them. Yeah,
Versus who?
so it is the politics of the political class, yeah, versus the people, where the political class would come and decide and say, nowadays, today Kenyans are not united. Yeah, so we need to unite them. Today Kenyans are united. Now we need not to unite them. Or today Kenyans are tribal. You know, for instance, if you bring in the issue of um, unity versus tribe, and you find that now, for instance, Rigathi Gachagua, because the process of Rigathi Gachagua has led us to be here calling about unity. Yeah. So when we talk about unity, we talk about unity and view Rigathi Gachagua as somebody who was he was a tribal guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was speaking about Mount Kenya. Yeah. And in every discussion that everybody has, what usually take major discussion about the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua was because he was speaking about Mount Kenya or advocating for Mount Kenya. Some other charges are not being mentioned in the public. So he has been given the title of somebody who is very tribal. But now, come to the government, when you come to employment, yeah, in the major parastatal, they are coming, president has employed
His communities, members, every day when he wakes up, he's employing a Kalenjin
yeah,
from his community.
from so when now you want to compare the two, so who is when now we want to talk about tribal, what is the difference of that person who is talking advocating for Mount Kenya and the other person that is employing people from his community? What is the difference?
I think you brought it so well. You brought it so well that we can even go back and look at the list of the cabinet appointments that William Ruto did in his first term in office, and you'll find 90%, 99 point something percent are Kalenjin. Let me welcome Dr. Rees will stick. Oh my God! I hope I got the pronunciation right. Dotras will Karibu Afrika, open your mic. Hello, yeah, thank you.
Oh my God.
Kindly introduce yourself, tell us who you are. Hello? We can't hear you, Dotras. I think he has got issues with his mic. Now, Ben, you brought that topic so nicely, and we landed somewhere. And we landed to this point where, these guys are accusing Gachagua of being a tribalist, while their appointments when they got into office for the first time were all tribal.
Yeah.
We're all tribal, and they didn't even stop there. There were other KRA appointments that were stopped by the courts. I don't know how that went, but they were all again. Somebody went to court and stopped that. Those were all tribal. So
Yeah.
these leaders, as much as they are picking on each other, they are both tribal leaders.
Yeah, is just that the how we frame our words or how we frame our statement, that is what is making the difference.
Look at Raila Odinga. When he wanted to present William Ruto, he didn't present him in Turkana. He went and presented him in Nyanza.
Mhm.
And in in Nyanza, where his strongest base is. So these are basically people who are playing around with our minds. I think they're playing around with our psychology, that we are not thinking, we don't know what is happening. I think it's an insult. It's an insult to us, the people of Kenya. We
I-
have lived with the tribe.
You see,
How? Hmm?
I think it's not an insult. The only problem that we have is that we are not appreciating our tribes positively. Yeah, you know, you have to accept that you have your tribe, and how can I, as a person, appreciate my tribe in a very positive way in
You
whatever I'm.
see, you see, right now in my tribe, if you go against Raila Odinga, you are going against the community.
Yes, but you have to understand, one thing that you have to understand, I don't know whether if you're very keen
Mm,
about the Luo politics, and
mm,
this is something that everybody, I don't think, maybe I might be looking at quite much differently.
mm,
You know, the Luo politics started with the home of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, the late,
mm,
the father. Yeah.
mm,
And the politics of the Luo, it's in three categories. One, I think it's the loyalty.
mm,
You have to be very loyal
mm,
to the origin of the Luo politics.
mm,
Because every politician is in Luo has been mentored. Majority of them has been mentored by
mm,
the Jaramogi, is the lineage of Jaramogi, the legacy of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. That's where the politics started, the leadership when it comes to politics. That is one. Then another thing, after you being loyal, you also have to, um, loyalty. That loyalty, kama huwezi kubaliana nao, watu watakuacha. Then there's something called questioning. There's some of the things that you need not to question. If you question,
mm.
you will not make it.
You see, yeah, I agree with you that it started with Jaramogi, but you can also say that during Jaramogi's time, we had people like Tomboya during that time, and they were all agitating for the same. And Tomboya unfortunately was killed. So the politics of the Luos is divided into these two people, Tom Mboya and Jaramogi, and they were bitter rivals in their days. I don't know why a lot of patronage, because I think why Tom Mboya never lived. If Tom Mboya lived to the age uh, of the late Jaramogi, what do you think? How would our politics shaped up?
Um, look, there could be a better change, especially with the 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 elite. I think the elite would go for Tomboy.
Yeah, yeah, Tom Mboya was bringing the elitist kind of politics and a progressive
Progressive.
politics, a progressive politics towards development. I think the people of Nyanza would have been more developed if Tom Mboya had lived to see his days. compared to what we had with Jaramogi. Yes, Jaramogi was a fighter fighting for land rights and all that, but Tom Mboya, brought in, could negotiate on behalf of the community more articulately and present the community's views. Not even the community, represent Kenya as in a better way.
But Jaramogi himself also is when you look at the history of Jaramogi,
Mm,
Jaramogi is also a democratic person. He was a democratic person, and he was one person that would have negotiation. If he doesn't agree with you, he will not force issues. He will take his own route, you know. And his conscience will always serve him right.
mm,
Yeah, he's a you cannot compare the kind of politics that Jaramogi had with the politics of Raila Odinga. Those are two different people. Two different people. Yeah, two different
yeah,
people.
yeah. These are two different personalities,
Two different
and
personalities, and you know.
oh, Kevin is back. Now these are two different, Raila and Jaramogi. Jaramogi to me is was a down to earth person.
Mhm.
Even the way he lived his life, he lived in somewhere in Jerusalem. He has a house up to today inaitwa Koginga kwa Jaramogi in Jerusalem, Jericho. That
Mm.
shows you the kind of humility this man had, and he lived with the locals there. Yeah, during his days, I don't think that Raila Odinga, we can trace him back to the days of Jaramogi. Jaramogi was very very humble. He lived with the community and he knew what the community had. He had a better legacy to me compared to one Baba Raila Odinga. Kevin, are you available right now? Kevin, are you listening in or just Kevin? Do you want to say something before we move to the next topic? Kevin.
I, I like maybe
All right. All right. We have moved from the issue of the handshake, and now under the dynamics. Now we look at the dynamics of this handshake, what it will bring in our politics, Brother Ben. I want us to look at the Rift Valley, the people of Rift Valley. These are people that are so unpredictable. I've not been able to predict the kind of politics that they are going to play in 2027. Regarding the way they have been pronouncing themselves, there seems to be a lot of opposition on for William Ruto's government in the Rift Valley, in his own backyard, and it might not be very very easy for William in Rift Valley. Or what do you think?
um I, I don't think so, because maybe there's the new generation constituency. Those that might not support.
I am coming. I'm coming. I'm coming to the new generation, the Gen Zs. I
Yeah.
want us to exhaust these guys in their backyard and see what kind of influence the establishment really carries. William Ruto, Raila Odinga, is this formation? Is this merger between? In some quarters, they're already saying that William Ruto will vie on an ODM ticket.
No.
I've heard that rumor. In some quarters, they're saying that they will negotiate, they will form a pact in 2027. Is this influence resonating well with the locals? Is this merger? Is this handshake Now we move to the people. What are the people saying about this handshake?
You know,
Yourself, what are you saying?
the
Zalendo, can I speak?
yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Good morning, everybody, wherever you are. Good night, everybody, wherever you are. But what I can tell, if I'm to talk about the merger in the political arena in Kenya, it's something that is going to happen. Of course, Gachagua is trying to align himself politically for the 2027. He may not vie, yes, but most importantly, who is going to be behind the political parties aligned to Gachagua? Remember that Medu is going to vie for the gubernatorial position in Laikipia County. How about the other people who are aligned to Gachagua? Raila Odinga is at the AUC. Although it's a very tough position, we don't know whether he will clinch it or not. But again, most importantly, how is the future of ODM as a party? Since it has been there since the year 2005 during the banana versus orange political campaigns for the referendum. So the ODM political party, as we stand, needs a big political merger. My speculation would be that this is my speculation that he may maintain the previous mergers that he had, and probably Jubilee will merge with the UDA, and then once they have it together before 2027, slightly before 2027, they'll merge with UDA and form a coalition. Kalonzo Musyoka, high possibility that Kalonzo Musyoka will vie, of course, in his Wiper political party, aligned to the Kikuyu political parties. When I say the Kikuyu political parties, Moses Kuria's party is there, and partly even the Western political parties. By and large, Ruto is going to try so hard so that at least he gets very big political bigwigs, the Raila Odinga's political team, as have mentioned, of course, the coastal region, all these will come together and try to form a government. Remember, the Gen Z is also something that Kenyans are really looking into, because Ruto promised so many things, but he has never delivered on them. So it's something that we are geared up to, and we are looking forward for Okia Omtata coming in. But of course, there are speculations that Okia Omtata is also working for William Samoei Ruto. If that debate is confirmed, then Ruto is going to have very big political mergers that anybody else will not. I don't believe that any political party will win or Ruto will lose. So my position is that all these are either to make Ruto lose or make Ruto win. But the high possibility is that Ruto will win with these political mergers. If I'm to talk about yesterday's debate on the AUC, my assertion is that the Djibouti man Ali Mahmoud really did so well, better than Raila Odinga, because Raila Odinga was really speaking about the basic things that Africa needs. And we are beyond those kind of things. We are beyond even the SDGs. We are looking at the Vision 2063. We're still talking about the Vision 2030. We just have a few years to the 2030. So that's my recap on this before I leave you for work, wherever I am. Thank you very much, Mzalendo. Thank you very much, Brother Benson.
Thank you
No,
so much.
no, look at what Kevin has brought in. Kevin is saying he's ruling out Okiya Mtata. He's saying that Okiya Mtata is working for William Ruto. Okiya of all the people. Oh, no, that can never happen.
The only place that I would disagree with him is about Onokia Mutata. Okia Mutata, I don't think so. That
Yeah.
just might be like few elements, because like politics is everybody can come or anybody can come with any information, but I rule out Okia Mutata. And where I agree with him is one big issue that the president is now fighting for. The president is fighting for his second term. That is what he's fighting for. Yeah. He has to make sure in his list, favorite list, He has to make sure that he gets his second term, and he will get it by all means. And by all means, I mean that he will work tirelessly hard to make sure that the big wigs, the big names in the political arena, will come in. Yeah.
Ben, have you ever seen a president who has been fought on social media like this
No.
in your entire political
And,
analysis?
and
Have you ever
now,
seen? Huh?
yeah, we've not seen that. But what now you have to understand, if you're reading politics, this is era of the social media activism. And the young people have realized that when you go to the street, you will lose your life. So social media has become like a safe havens for protest. And we are dealing with the generation that is so much well equipped and knowledgeable, especially when it comes to the IT. You cannot compare this era with the era of the late President Moi or even Kibaki.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This generation cannot cope with the Gen Zs and the
Yeah.
kind of thing that is going to eat them in 2027. I don't think they will cope. I don't think they will cope.
No, even if they don't cope, there's also something that you have to look here. You have to put in consideration. As much as we are looking at the Gen Z, how many of them are going to register, and how many of them will be voting?
Now this is the anticipation. This is the anticipation, and using data and statistics, 10 million Gen Zs did not participate in the elections, who are registered voters. They did not participate in the last general. They have never taken elections seriously. Just like where you are in America, the Gen Zs never. You were seeing the interviews, they were saying, "We have never taken elections very, very keenly. We were not interested, but we are going to be interested in this one, just for one reason." There's been a lot of media publicity about it. So many platforms are talking about the elections. So many outlets on YouTube, TikTok, everywhere is talking about X. Everywhere is talking about elections. Even today, there's no. Tomorrow, if you wake up in the morning, there'll be an X platform of Gen Zs talking about politics. Have never been as interested in politics as it is today in Kenya. We have never seen anything like that happening, and it is going to blow away this government like never before. That is my anticipation. Another thing, we were only talking about 2022. 10 million Gen Zs did not vote. Remember, there are high schoolers who are going to graduate and go to colleges by the time we go for elections. These are a generation of maybe 3 to 4. That is another like 8 million being added. According to data analysis, by the time we are going to go for election, 40% of the population that is going to vote will be the Gen Zs. 40% of the electoral votes will come from this generation. If you don't have it, that is a big, big number. So you only need like 20% to win the elections. So we are talking about votes of about 20 million plus. If they can be convinced to participate
Yeah.
in the elections, of which they are doing,
Yeah.
right now. Mm.
Maybe if Kevin wants to come in, but that's what I was saying, is that will they turn up? Will they wake up early in the morning and go and vote? Yeah.
They will. They will. This time they will. They've been killed. They've never been killed before in elections. This they were killed. I mean, do you know? Have you ever watched the interview of one of the that lady who was saying that when they went to the streets, they took a marker, put their phone numbers on on their bodies, in all the parts of their bodies, their phone number, the mother's phone numbers, the parents' phone numbers. And they told them, in case I die, uh, please, this is the number that you will call. That number belongs to maybe my mother or my father, or my guardian. So they have got this kind of a resolution that they have to really fight for their country. And I'm seeing it. I'm in so many groups of young people, even here in the diaspora. They no longer talk about William Ruto and the Railas and all that. They are talking about another generation of politicians. They even believe on Morara being their next president. Yeah. So Morara to them is a possibility. To the young people here and the diaspora, it's a possibility. And so many people in Kenya are also following him. It's a possibility that they need change. But how are they going to get it? If the opposition in Kenya can come together, which you know very well, divide and rule, hiyo ulikuwa umeleta kitambo, is what the president will use, divide and rule. Divide a section of them and ensure that you rule over them. But if they can remain intact and get a leader, because not all of them will become president, they have to get one person to vie against William Ruto. I don't think he might survive. The only way is maybe to steal the elections in 2027, which might
Right
be
now,
very, very difficult again. Mtata is talking about the things that I've been saying. Why can't the media call for elections?
you know, I think like Kenya, we are very selective on what we want to do or what we intend to do. If what we want to do favors us, then it will go with us, or it will go, or it will be okay with us. Because the other time I had one of the leaders. So kama tuseme umepiga kura kule kwenyu pale Homa Bay, ukapiga tukapata kwamba rais amepata kura ngapi?
Mbili.
Haja gani mtu kuja na form 32B apande nayo gari?
Apande ndege, wengine wanapanda mpaka ndege, akuje naye atuambie pale Bomas ati rais alipata kura mbili. Yaani Wakenya sisi ni ujinga tuko naye ama ni nini?
Hapo sasa tena wacha, unajua amepata mbili, lakini between Homa Bay mpaka Nairobi lazima itakuwa tatu. Hii moja inatoka wapi?
Hii kura imesikiza Ben, hii kura imehesabiwa
Ehe.
kwa class juu zinapigwa kwa classroom ama kwa hall, imehesabiwa imehesabiwa, imesemekana senator amepata kura 10, MP amepata kura 30, president amepata kura 50, women rep amepata so much na nani. Kwa nini hizi kura msizitangaze? Tayari mshazitangaza.
Sasa hiyo ndio nakwambia, mfumo ambayo sisi tunatumia ni mfumo ambayo labda inafaa iangaziwe na
hiyo mfumo inafaa ibadilishwe kwa sababu ni ya ukora na ni uwizi. And you know kwa nini wataka kuibadilisha? Kwa sababu wanasiasa wanaitumia, si hata president peke yake.
Hapana, mimi hata unajua kama kuna vitu ambazo watu wanafaa waongelee sana sana ni mambo ya IEBC, kwa sababu unapata kuwa hata hapo kwa IEBC saizi ni au tu vigogo tu ya wanasiasa hawa ndio wanaweka mavibaraka wao, wale watu ambao wataangalia maslahi yao katika hiyo tume ya uchaguzi. Hawaweki Wakenya ambao wataangalia maslahi ya Wakenya. Ndio maana unapata hao wenyewe kukubaliana kwamba
inakuwa ni ngumu, kwa sababu kila mtu anamwangalia mwenzake with suspicion. Unaona?
So we are living in an era of suspicion, like we are all suspect. Yeah? Wewe unaenda pale kuangalia nani ataibia nani na nani aibi. Unaona sasa, kwa hiyo
Na huyu atatuibia kidogo ama tunaweza ongea naye.
so
Eh?
kila mtu analeta mtu ambaye ataangalia maslahi yake na
Sasa
unapata
mi nauliza Ben, ukijiuliza tu ukweli, hao makomishana kazi yao ni nini? Hebu tu tuangalie literally what is their work, kazi yao ni nini? Yani ni nini hiyo wanafanya? Ile
na,
what are they going to do? Kama
they,
saa hizi
they are making,
tunaambiwa they have to be there.
yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, they have to be there because the laws and our constitution allows them to. But I think like
Do we need
we
9 of them?
no, we don't need 9. We you see, like for instance, when you come here, we have those we call the Secretary of States.
Mm.
Yeah. Apart from governor, the Secretary of State usually has a say. He is holding high office.
Mm.
Look at what happened in Georgia when the Georgia when Joe Biden was running against Trump.
Mm.
Yeah. You see how Trump was saying, like, I just only need
I
11,000.
only needed 10,000 votes only. Where can get for me those votes so that I can win the election?
So it is always the Secretary of State that oversees how it is being run, but they don't call the election.
They
Even
don't.
the media here, like CNN will say, we project.
No.
No, they will wait for press associate. Look at that.
The press associate calls election for the issue of Georgia last time, and that's what made Trump so mad, is that Fox News called the elections in Georgia, and Fox is a Republican station. They called it
so
early before
Yeah.
anybody else, before any other media, no, not even before even the independent whatever press you're talking about. They called it and said, "Hey, this guy has lost." I am telling you, that guy was mad with Fox. How could they do that?
How could they do that? So that's why, like, you find if you want to get the real picture of results, go to press associates. They will, once they said it, that is the accurate one. But in Kenya, you find that even some media stations are being used as a tallying center. So how would they call?
No. You see the thing is, even if media are biased, even here, media is biased. So, but they call elections. If CNN are leaning towards Democrats and they are seeing their candidate losing, they will say it. We have lost it. They will not hide it. They will say it. It is just a matter of integrity. It is a matter of you. You know why these media houses have to call for these elections? It will make the elections more expensive to buy them out. Very, very expensive. And again, we will know that the media houses that are being used by the state, it is the easiest way. They cannot, these things will be random, Ben. You know how random they will be. You hear an election president has won in Migori, in somewhere in Sori. He has got so much votes. So you are busy doing your calculations. It's already been called. That one is gone. Imeitwa. The same another media house will call that election later on. The same results, same time, different times. And like that. Another media house will call Kisumu. Results are out. Hey, zimetoka. They don't wait for those returning officers to carry the ballot to Kisumu town hall for counting again. They call it there. Na inakuwa live. It is live. We are live now at,
And I think with the technology and how we are seeing the X space and the social media is very active, it will be the 2027 general election will be one of the most critical election that we are going to have,
Yeah.
because everybody is going to monitor that election. You call or you say so and so got in on this, he got this, that one will be put on the or will be shared on the
On the internet, and people will be having smartphones.
people will be having. Is either you're going to turn the state will say, okay, we are not going to have internet.
And that is the thing. We are not going to allow phones in the polling polling
The
centers.
phone can be in the polling center, but now when you announce those results, people are
We are not going to have internet.
so there's a total shutdown on the internet. So bas, hapo mambo itakuwa sawa, lakini tuseme tu kama mambo imewachwa tu waziwazi na venye tunaona mambo iko katika internet, because look at what is happening in the internet. They encounter everything that president says. Yeah, everything that president says, pap pap, they bring, anything that president says, so
No,
it is.
we really have to fight. We really have to be talking about this issue of allowing the media to call for elections, because that is the only way we'll have sanity in our elections. Whether you are vying for the smallest seat, which is the MCA seat,
Yeah.
please emphasize on the issue of the media. That is the only way you will get a clear results of what really transpires in these elections. There is no point.
Mhm.
There's no point for us to wait for the president to announce some crazy 9 commissioners. Ati Raila is appointing his people, Ruto is appointing his people, Kalonzo also wants his people. Imagine these people are ruling over us.
And that's hiyo ndio maana nilikuwa nakwambia hapo awali kwamba Kenya ukisikia wanatuambia
So
kwamba
saizi wakisikizana hao watu wote, Sidi Kalonzo nani wasikizane, hii hapana, hii tupatie nani,
itaenda wakisikilizana tu watasema
si wanasema hii tuacha tusikizane, tupatie nani,
na huyo mtu atawekwa ndiye ataenda. So ndio maana nilikuwa nasema ukiona siasa ambayo itakuwa itachapwa 2027 ni siasa ya unity, tuungane kama Wakenya.
It's not working. It's already not working. That unity thing is not working.
But that is what is in the public domain. How many times have you heard the president talking about let's unite, come together?
Do you feel that there is unity in Kenya? You yourself, are you feeling that the people are uniting?
But Kenya who are united, what has disunited Kenyans ever since? Kenyans
we are united for what? Are we going for any war?
No. This is Kenya nakwambia ni ile narrative ya siasa ambayo itakuwepo ni kwamba lazima tukuje tukue pamoja.
Na sasa sisi tunasema it is us against them. So naona.
So, and you saw even what happened when the president was being criticized by the churches. What happened? He invited them to the State House. And what was the reason for inviting them?
No, I didn't. I wouldn't call those. I didn't see Sepit there. Was he there?
The evangelical. Those are
Sepit, was he there? I don't think he was there. These guys are so careful. They can't go to State House. These are, watu wa kanisa ni wengi, si watu wote wataenda.
Sasa unajua Kenya itafanyika ni hivi, kuna ile
the church will be divided.
Yeah, that is Kenya itaenda. Kuna wale watakuwa nasema rais anafanya kazi mzuri, wale wanasema hivyo, wanasema uongo. Yeah? Sasa hiyo ndio jambo palo lipo. Yeah?
Bana, neno moja unaweza ambia rais wa Kenya saa hii.
Mimi hata sijui naweza mrai aje, ni kwamba atimize hadi ambao walipatia na Wakenya. Then Wakenya watamsikiliza. Kwa sababu kitu ambacho inasumbua ama kitu ambacho inafanya, kwa sababu kila kitu ambacho rais amesema, kama tuseme kama hii Taifa Care, unajua there's that massive registration. You can register for SHA, and it's okay to register, but are you getting the services? If you register, registration and services are two different things. You can register,
Ben,
but are you getting the services?
kabla nisahau, you have a very good point, lakini hii ndaisahau juu nimekuwa nikifikiria the whole week hii unaona Magufuli, the late Magufuli. Magufuli was the president in Tanzania. This guy, he used to go to on top of his car, anaenda in the marketplace huko kama ni Iringa ama kule Arusha, anasimama anasema nani ndio anasimamia hii soko wapi, nani ndio mkuu wa hii soko, njoo hapa, mbona hamna choo, mbona hamna nini, mbona hamna maji hapa, kwa leo we umefutwa kazi mara moja kwa sababu ya hii ama nataka ripoti kwa deski yangu by Monday saa fulani, ukuwa umenipatia ripoti kamili. This president, he doesn't do things like that. I don't know, because when you are the president of the Republic of Kenya, sijui ni mahali gani iliandikwa president wa Kenya anafaa kukaa kwa ikulu, anapiga maraundi, anatuambia vitu atafanya. Mbona aendi tu asemee aende impromptu, aende mahali kama Homa Bay pale, aende kwa hospitali aone the condition of the hospital.
Unajua
why can't he, why this is directed to the, I know they are watching this. Mr. President, make an impromptu visit to Mama Lucy Hospital and see the way it is. And then you know whether you are serving the people or you are serving people who are going to die the next minute.
Unajua mfumo ya CCM ni mfumo tofauti sana, si hata tu rais, hata wale tunaita mkuu wa mkoa ama mkuu wilaya au watu ambao
Ile msimu wetu wa kitambo, hapo ndo tulikuwa kitambo.
Wako na ile nafasi ya kukutana na wananchi kusikiza kero zao, ambapo sisi hatuna. So kusikiza kero zao na malalamishi, kuna
usiseme hatuna, useme hatuna.
Si kwa sababu sisi tumekuwa ni watu ambao labda ni starehe, sijui ni nini ambao
katiba kuna public participation.
But unajua zile si public participation ambao wanaenda, ukienda tuseme kwamba unaenda kama rais anaenda kusikiza kero za wananchi, labda the president is on his way to launch a certain project, but on his way he's having a forum to listen to the people of that particular country. That is what Magufuli used to do. And if you are very, very, very keen, if you look at during the time of Magufuli, we had this mkuu wa mkoa was called Happy. We had huyu mwingine pia alikuwa anatoka Tabora, alikuwa amependa kuongea sana, nimesahau
huko ni huko Tabora, huko sijui wapi huko.
Alikuwa anatoka Tabora. Kulikuwa pia na huyu siku hizi amepelekwa Arusha, huyu anaitwa nani, Makonda. Unajua walikuwa na zile wakati wanakuwa na wananchi wanasikiza kero zao, na hiyo nadhani iko katika CCM. Serikali mfumo yao iko hivyo. So sijui kama sisi pia tunaweza kuwa na mfumo kama hiyo. Hata
there is no difference between when Ruto akisimama mahali atoke kwa gari yake hivi aanze kusikia yeye kikazi ile anatua kama the last time ile vitu wanasema are so irrelevant to what the people. I'm telling you, every time, I don't know whether they have realized that this is so irrelevant, it is not working. Uende usimame mali wananchi wako, usimamishe Junet Mohamed aseme atukane Gachagua, atukane sijui nani, atukane, yani ni ujinga gani tuko nayo? Yani atukane huyu mwingine, aenda asimame wapi, Joe asimame hapa atukane mwingine, atukane nani. Hebu tusikie Mheshimiwa Junet Mohamed na lile anaweza sema. Junet anasema ati Sisi tuko nyuma ya rais kabisa. How did the people of that area benefit in that statement?
So it tells you the kind of politics and the politicians that we have. The rate of sycophancy is so high. It is like I don't know whether they want to please the president, or I don't know what they are trying to do, at a point whereby you don't even respect the people who gave you the mandate to serve them.
And these leaders are sycophants. They are sycophants. Yeah, I'm telling you, so long as you are in the presidential convoy, you are okay.
You're okay. See,
Yeah, upande naye ndege, you are okay. Uliona kale ka kijana kanaitwa ka Samuel ama na nani, amepandishwa ndege ya chopa. Sasa yeye ni mtu wa ODM, ana articulate vision ya ODM.
lakini si unajua hakuna haki. Unajua katiba inaruhusu mtu kuchukua
No, katiba ako na haki, lakini unajua ukiangalia nyuma hapo alikuwa na kashifu hizi machama kama ODM, tena baadaye unaangalia sasa amebadilika tena mwenendo wake consistently. Unajua hawa vijana I think pia ni tamaa ni tamaa ya kuna ile maisha kuna ile maisha unaona mwanasiasa anaishi, unataka kuishi hiyo maisha. Sijaona mwanasiasa kama Okiya Mtata ule yuko down to earth kama vile ule mwanasiasa yuko anaendesha gari ya Demio, gari kadogo kabisa, bado anaenda. Sijui kama ni plani yake ya kupata urais, but kama niyo ndio plani yake, then it is working for me, it is working.
Unajua, labda Kasemwil ameona mwanga na anataka kubadilika.
Ameona hela ama anataka kubadilisha maisha yake,
anataka kubadilisha mfumo wa uongozi ambao tuko nayo katika ODM, so ni haki yake.
Kama Babu Owino akiwa kijana angeweza kupatiwa uongozi, aka Samuel katapewa uongozi.
Labda kuna kitu ambacho wameona ambapo wanaweza ona kwa Babu Owino.
Hamna. Hizi machama ni vyombo vya kutapeli wananchi, na tunafaa kusema hivyo katika na ukweli na haki. Hizi vyama ni vyombo ya kutapeli wa Kenya.
Unajua, tukikuja kwa mfumo za vyama zetu za Kenya, ni hapo pia tunapata kwamba ukabila zimo ndani tu, zimebuniwa tu kwa ukabila, kwa sababu unapata kwamba asilimia kubwa ya watu ambao wamo ndani inalingana na pali hiyo mwenye chama yupo, kwa sababu huwezi niambia kwamba mtu atagombea wadhifa wa uongozi na yeye bado ndio ni tuseme kama ni chairman ama ni mwenyekiti wa chama, na yeye ndio bado uko na wale ambao utakuwa unashindana nao, na unajua we pia hapo kwa uongozi upo. For instance, if let's to say like today Ruto is the President Ruto is the party leader of UDA, and he will be running for presidency. Kama kuna mtu atakuwa anashindana naye, atashinda kweli? Huyo jamaa atashinda, na he has invested the party leadership. You are not just being given that party, you have to invest in it.
Utashindaje na delegates wale wanapiga kura ni hao viongozi umewapatia tiketi ya chama? Ni hao viongozi. Delegates wale wanapiga kura ni hao viongozi, ni hao ma MPs wale wanakuimba kila siku, wale wanakuambia wewe umetosha. Utakuwaje na demokrasia hapo? Hii mfumo wa demokrasia hii ya multi-party democracy bado inatuchanganya kidogo, lakini maybe with time tutakuwa machua kiasi. Naona pale kuna Douglas anasema nini, but do you know in my village in Baringo people don't do what? My village in my people don't know Omtata. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know Douglas in Baringo. People don't know of Mtata, but in Baringo, the people are living in poverty. Look at the politics that has been going on in Baringo for the years, and you've had the presidency for that long. It is high time you change your mind, Mana Douglas. Things have to change. Whether you know Mtata or not, we are talking about service delivery.
Yeah.
Can you tell your people that it is high time we have service delivery among the people of Baringo? So hapo umekosea kidogo. Ben, I think we need to wind up the show.
Okay.
Naona
Muda muda imeyoyoma.
muda inazidi kuyoyoma. Tunaweza mwaga unga tukizidi, tunaweza
Yeah.
mwaga nini? Hebu hiyo Kiswahili inasemwaje? Maji inaweza zidi
Unga.
maji
Maji
inaweza zidi
yakizidi
unga.
unga.
Tunaweza kuwa tumeongea sana, maji ikawa yamezidi unga. I think you need to give us your closing remarks. There was so much to be tackled, but since we came late to the program, I think
Yeah.
leave the rest for next time, because we want our viewers to be educated, informed, like the people of Baringo, on the kind of leaders that we want, and that will is what will shape the country. It is not about where you come from or where the president is coming from. It is about the person who can deliver the services that the people of Kenya really need critically. So Ben, your closing remarks, and before you do that, I want to thank Bana Douglas, Eric, Leo, and Kevin, who were here earlier, and Shiro. Thank you guys for tuning in on Afrique, and we hope that you have subscribed. If you have not, please make sure that you have subscribed to Afrique. If you're watching us from different platforms, tafadhali fanya tu heshima kidogo, ufanye subscription pale Afrique. Go to Afrique, subscribe, like, and comment. Ben, twende
Okay,
basi.
thank you so much, Douglas. Thank you so much for meeting you here again. Douglas usually is a good my member. He's usually with me immediately I go online, so I'm a
Oh,
regular.
okay.
Yeah, I know Douglas is a good guy.
Mhm.
We always have a conversation with him on the chat section.
Oh,
So Douglas, thank you so much for joining us again here. To me, what I would want to say is the best, all the answers that we are looking for, all the answers that this country is looking for, be it the good leadership, be it a good nation, be those answers, they're in the ballot. That's where those answers are. So the best thing that you can do when you will be called upon to vote, go and vote, and you will you will answer those questions there. They are on the ballot. So that is the only thing that I would tell Kenyans.
you're done, brother Ben.
Yes.
I agree with you. The answer is definitely on the ballot. I I also say that when you go to the ballot, go with your brain. Don't leave your brain behind, and don't be manipulated. Know what you really want. For we here in Africa, we will continue giving you the best ways to conduct a free and fair election, such that we don't have these fights that we normally have, or after elections we get into another election mood, has been happening in our country for many years right now. That after every other election, we are back into another election. So thank you guys. I hope that you enjoyed part of this show. As you can see, we have got a cocktail of candidates. On my left is Morara. If you like what Morara is talking about, he has got the Inject Party that is coming up very strongly for the young people. yes, you can join Team Morara. We also have Kalonzo Musyoka. Then we have got Ambassador, who is also vying for the presidency. Matiangi, we didn't talk much about Matiangi, but I think that will be later this evening. We'll be talking about Matiangi, what he brings in as a presidential candidate. And of course, Gashagwa and Central Province. We never got to talk about the population and why Central Province is significant in the country politics. And now that they are fully in the opposition, what roles will they play in 2027? Will it be the decider? Will they be the people who decide who becomes the president or who goes to the opposition? I think they will play both roles. They can take you home or they can make sure that you be with them in the opposition benches. So, with that said, I hope, guys, you enjoyed this show this evening. See you later. And same time, same place. If you miss me here, make sure that you go to Brother Ben's studio. He's
Yes.
also on YouTube. Please tell us a bit about Brother Ben so that we can also find you when
Yeah.
Mzalendo is not around.
Thank you so much. We run our media. Is Brother Benson Media. We have at least we have like four panelists who host differently. You might not get me there, but there's Marco Bura, there's Kevin, there's Barak. Uh, they are they are the same, speaking of the same thing, you know. And also we also host quite a number of leaders. Actually, we've hosted Hester Waringa for I think like twice, if not twice, is thrice.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I've hosted Waringa like twice, if not twice, but thrice. We had yesterday we talked with the Professor Ogola, Fred Ogola, yeah, and Fred Ogola nowadays is the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Uzima University. So you can also check on that. We had quite conversation about the Uzima and what he does. So there we are.
All,
You can come.
all right. I think we are growing stronger each and every day. I hope to talk to Ogola. Ogola wanted to be the president. Did you ask him about his ambition to be president?
Yes, he still harbors that ambition, and he's still fighting for his place, and he's still campaigning for it. But right now, I know, but right now he's in Uzima. I don't know whether
All right. Let's leave it there. We'll look for Ogola and we'll get it from the horse's mouth. So
oh,
until next time, brothers and sisters, thank you for being part of our Freak family. See you later in the evening. And if you love EPL soccer, there'll be an analysis coming later. If you love your team, Arsenal will be playing against Everton. We have got a good run this season. I know Ben doesn't love soccer,
I know.
so but
Uh,
we have got a good run this season, team Arsenal. Tuko pamoja, so jioni team Chelsea pia tunangojea watandikwe. So if you are betting, make sure that you put
you
up
bet wisely.
bet wisely, but and don't overdo it. Usibeti na school fees na pesa ya Christmas ya
Okay.
watoto. Asante.